Knowledge is power. To know is to know that you know nothing. And that is the meaning of true knowledge. Now, those are not my words. There are different ways some veteran artists define knowledge. But true artists look at this quest for understanding and how far it can take anyone with a different perspective. And we'll see them on this week's edition of Arthouse. Welcome. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Plus, the whole concept of design comes alive as World Designers Day is celebrated. And so much more in just a moment.
A creative person has to create. It doesn't really matter what.
Knowledge Across Boundaries is an exhibition by Dr. Kunle Adeyemi and Dr. Sukante Gareva at Quintessence Gallery in Lagos, and it was done in honor of a loved lost one.
They are from two different worlds and have a different approach to their art. Kunle Adeyemi is into pantograph, while Sukante Gareva is more hooked on painting. But they teamed up after a program at the Delta State University, Abraka, and decided to put up an exhibition years after.
They have brought something new to the table. If you look at their works, there's a lot of excitement in them. You feel really excited because there's something different from what is usually seen in our daily art sectors. So we are really happy about it.
All that I have done in this exhibition, they are research work on the new things or the new innovation about my art. And that's what has been displayed here.
Pantography and pentacast is a technique Mr. Adeyemi has been experimenting with. It involves using painting, printmaking, sculpture, and construction, but it's still a work in progress. His quest for knowledge probably took him to his distant lands.
But essentially these days, my work, I tried as much as possible for knowledge reasons to input in my work the philosophical tones, which a good work of art should say at this present time. I've been able to synthesize the mediums of painting, of printmaking, of sculpture, and of construction. So you see some of these works now, they have all these genres in my work. And that's and so by the time you look at it, these days, the works, they're no longer that usual painting, neither they are that sculpture that you talk about, but I call them paintocasts. From painting to casting, or from casting to painting. It's vice versa. My process, my work can be reversed. You know, I can move it this way and I can move it the other way. So these are some of the things that I've had, but it's a result of hard work and research, which I have gone through in my PhD study.
His work still reflects that East or West, home is the best. That passion is seen in works such as Partial View of Cloudless Sky, a 10 by 12-inch pentacast that captures Nigeria's democratic process, the burden we bear, and the slow will of progress in our land, among others.
There's another work there, the persistence of the winner. I'm trying to reflect on the political thing. You know, you remember the President Muhammadu Buhari persisted, you know, time and time again. The first time, the second time, the third time, and I think the fourth time now, he clinched his ticket. So that sent a signal to us as Nigerians that we should not be in a hurry, that we should, as a matter of fact, persist and believe in ourselves and believe in what we are doing. And so some of the other ones talked about the buck stops at the king's table. You know, I have been able to put something together. The buck stops at the king's table. So what it means is that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. And so if you are a leader in a place, definitely you are the servant. You know, so there's some of these cultures that hitherto have not been in us. You know, particularly this generation. Yes, in the past, yes, but in this generation, some cultures are not there. And with art, with what I do now, I try as much as possible to bring the same culture into beer.
Done on a hard surface, but the colors are vibrant, laced with traditional themes.
A good work of art should be able to talk about the present moment. A good work of art should be able to reflect the past, and a good work of art must be able to foresee or project into the future. And so some of these things are some of the things that I have experienced and some of the things that I've put together in my studio. Some of my works refer to philosopher 1, philosopher 2, philosopher 3, the philosopher and his postulations, the beauty and peace that greeted Nigeria after the telephone conversation. Some of these things are some of the things that I have put here.
Egareva brings a soft approach to the show, a product of two cultures which reflects in her works of art. But in this, the woman is still her subject, capturing some sugar, spice, and everything nice. It's also the title of one of her pieces.
My art is all about a synthesis. I, I was born in Sri Lanka and I grew up with the Tiv people of Benue State. So I found most of their art and their practices very interesting. I found I found in their arts very interesting pictorial elements that I decided to synthesize with my where I am coming from, the Tamil people of Sri Lanka, Jaffna, Sri Lanka. I was born in Jaffna, the northern part of Sri Lanka. So we have a rich tradition of arts.
Others are pangs of womanhood, dreams, the burden we bear and the way we are, done either on acrylic on canvas or perspex on board, a reflection of two cultures, the Tamils of Sri Lanka and the Tiv of Nigeria, which it combines in pictorial elements with cultural motifs and symbols.
I draw inspiration from the kolam making, a traditional flow art. That's everyday activity for us Tamil people. In the morning, Tamil women, they wake up and they decorate their floors before doing any other activity. So I draw, and we have very rich temples that has very, very good sculptures in it. The Goburams, they have very good sculpture pieces in it.
It's a merger of two cultures. Sukanti is from Sri Lanka and Kuliademi is from Nigeria. And they have come here to show things. So we have the opportunity of seeing works of art from two different cultures, works of art that are really exciting. And because of that, we feel very happy to show this to the world.
All this is to salute a man who spent 42 years teaching art in Sri Lanka and Nigeria, Mr. Visagaparumal, whose philosophy of art is a work that is never finished.
My father has been my major influence. He has been an artist. He is a painter, he's a mixed media painter. Right from childhood, I have been getting all my inspirations from him.
We need to follow the due process. We don't need to be in a hurry, to do some things, to achieve things. It's not about money making any longer. It's about the imprint in the sense of time. So some of these things are some of these messages are some of the things that I'm passing across, And when you look at the work that I do now, they are well packaged, detailed, and you find that there is an element of time usage, a time well spent in some of these works.
Over 50 works of art that show that indeed knowledge knows no boundaries.
I guess that's one way to say forever in our hearts. We're taking a break now. When Arthouse returns, we'll continue our cruise through the exciting world of the arts, so don't go anywhere.